Welcome to the beach, Brad.
The beach?
The beach.
What's happening on the beach?
Everything, from the looks of things.
Yeah. Just a fun day in the sun.
Yeah, just hanging out, just Normandy style. This is...
It's the most luxury of beaches.
Yeah, they've turned it into a beautiful resort for fake war. We get to do all sorts of stuff here. So, this is Call of Duty World War II.
Yeah. It's out.
It is out. As of this recording, it is out in Australia.
Yeah.
And worming its way around the globe.
Yeah. By the time you see this, it should be out everywhere, pretty much.
Yeah.
Except for maybe somewhere in the Pacific Ocean.
Yeah. If you're in the middle of the Pacific Ocean, you might have trouble finding a copy. But yeah. Oh, all right, great.
Oh, okay.
So this is
that kind of thing.
So this is probably the newest thing in this game. It is this is where you go when you hit play online on the menu to go play competitive multiplayer. It drops you into the headquarters, which is this social space.
So you literally cannot quick match into an actual game of this game without coming here first?
Yeah. You load into this, and then from there.
Is that a long load?
It's coming out of a match back into the headquarters is not long, but when you first fire it up, it does take a little while.
Huh.
But
it just seems like if you're going to play this game for months on end, like at some point you might just want to hit a button and be in a match.
Yeah,
but
I agree. So this is the tower from Destiny.
Wait, are you going to go hit up the Cryptarch? Are you going to decode a legendary Garand?
Well, I mean, okay, maybe not in that way, but I am going to pull R2 and then call in a supply drop and then
what's happening?
And then get cards that are
robots.
I got 10 minutes of bonus experience, and I got calling cards for.
When I made that extremely obvious joke, I wasn't expecting you to actually spawn purple and blue items immediately after that. You're disappointed.
I'm disappointed.
I see.
So yeah, that was then calling cards, which you go in here and you unlock. You create or unlock emblems, and your calling cards are that's the stuff that shows up when you kill somebody.
They're animated. That's cool.
Yeah, they've had animated ones for a little while. Let's switch to Robot Army because that's fun. You got a social rank that I hit level 2 just for standing here in the headquarters for a while, and I don't know what that even means.
That's totally different from your experience rank.
Right? Yeah. You can commend players.
Can you hoorah them?
No, you just commend them. But so when I say it's like Destiny 1, I mean specifically it's this.
Have new orders. You ready for a challenge?
Remember the bounties from Destiny 1? Where you go up to the robot and he says, get out there and kill 20 people?
Sure do.
That's this.
Huh.
I watched 3 supply drops get opened, those crates. I watched other users open crates,
okay.
And then I got 25 social score for doing so. Not quite sure what all that means. These things rotate. You see the new orders are going to pop in a couple of minutes here. Oh, yeah. You've got weekly orders, and then you've got this special one for.
And you get items out of all that.
You'll get XP. You'll get I just got that 10. You'll get some of them. Well, yeah, we can actually go in and see what the rewards are.
Some of them said
rare
items.
Supply drop, rare supply drop, bonus weapon XP for 20 minutes. Yeah, there are a lot of meters to fill in this thing. So yeah, you also get like a daily login bonus, like a mobile game. So in a couple hours here, I'll be able to get more credits. You see up there in the corner, I've got 1145 credits here. We can go here, and instead of just opening crates, we can spend those credits on the specific items we're missing. So some of that's going to be uniforms, or more calling cards, or weapon camo. You can also buy additional contracts here that'll get you. So if I get 35 kills in domination, I get a rare supply drop. Get 35 kills in team deathmatch, completion time 10 minutes. So if I get 35 kills in 10, it's not.
Does that mean you have to do it within 10 minutes?
I assume so. I don't actually know. Get 3 headshots in any mode, 20 minutes. I'm not gonna spend my money, my hard-earned money on that because.
Is that virtual currency?
Yes. Yeah. You earn that. That is your every 4 hours or so you can go back and get another 100 credits. It'll come out of crates, I think.
Is there even a paid currency?
There is, so I don't think it's actually up yet because the game is not rolled out. But let's actually see. They've been doing this for years. Yeah. Okay. So the game's not out in the U.S. yet. The COD points or gold or whatever has not been posted to the store. But I assume that is a separate currency from the armory credits or whatever. Here's a weird thing that really evokes World War II to me. You know, you think about the technology of the war and that sort of stuff. You go back to that old school shit.
What?
Black and white Atari 2600 games.
What?
That you can pay 10 of your armory credits for to play once.
Okay. Are these running on an Enigma machine?
I assume so. Once we get it going, we can cycle the display into color.
Of course.
Also, this doesn't seem like the right aspect ratio for 2600 games, and I don't think you can make it full screen. So it's not a great...
This is quite odd.
Yeah, but River Raid's good.
I mean, it's okay.
I feel like I should be able to unlock a River Raid emblem, though.
Yeah.
Like a River Raid calling card.
Let them know where your loyalties truly lie.
Exactly. I'd rather blow up these bridges than the bridges in the campaign. Because River Raid is awesome. So yeah, you don't permanently unlock River Raid. I have to pay 10 credits every time I want to play it. It seems like now that I'm in here, I can play multiple games of it to my heart's content. But then eventually you'll have to, turn off the console and come back and pay again. So I don't know. This is a fun inclusion when you think about, other Call of Duty games have included like Zork and stuff.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
They've done some fun stuff over the years.
Yes, sure.
Along these lines. So,
but some of that stuff felt like it made a little more sense in context.
Yes,
because wasn't that Black Ops 1 that had Zork?
Right. Yeah. Yeah. So
like that was,
and it was part of like a weird kind of hacky terminal thing.
Right. That was appropriate to the era.
Yeah.
Or more so, at least, than this.
Yeah.
Some classics.
Like most things with Call of Duty, just try not to think about it too much.
No.
So you go slow, you get fuel, and then halfway through you shoot it, and then you get the points for blowing up the fuel plus the fuel. You gotta slow down, get that, and go. I could play River Raid all day, honestly, but let's... Okay. So that's the chessboard. So the game is out, like I said, but it's not out widely. So some of these things we might not be able to very easily do.
Wait, did that say one?
Yeah, there's a 1v1 queue that you can queue up for right here.
Is that just you and one other person on a map?
I think it's these people down here fighting each other.
Oh, it happens right here in front of you.
Yeah, so it's like they built a little rocket arena thing almost.
That's kind of cool.
So let's see if since I'm in the queue, let's see if we can get this going because I have not done this yet.
That's kind of a neat idea.
Yeah. Oh, but I wonder if I can use my headquarters soldier, which is not the class I want to use. Oh well, whatever.
Oof.
Whatever. Actually, I guess like a shotgun class would probably be pretty good in a 1v1 tight quarters. Now that I think about it. I think we stay in the queue even if we're not watching. But oh.
They've had enough.
All right. Why did it say position in Q2 now? Don't I get to go? Come on. All right, well.
What if you...
Yes.
Oh, there we go.
Oh, okay, so I get to... Enemy's turn to ban. Your turn to ban. Weird, okay. Okay, so we pick weapons through bans and we have made it a rocket launcher match. True rocket arena.
Okay.
Oh. Okay.
Oh, that goes fast.
Okay, well. That's a neat idea. Just like the Trials of the Nine, there's like a little prestige deck up here that you can only get to after you've played.
You can't enter the VIP area.
You must be eligible to prestige in order to enter the prestige overlook.
Hey, you see this velvet rope right here?
Yeah.
This is not for you.
We cannot go there. There's a theater which has like, it seems like you might be able to watch like live streams of esports at this thing. I don't know, this doesn't seem like something that's worth them blocking, but it's got like, it's trailers for the game right now, so I'm not sure what the intent is, but it does have this live event tab, so I assume that means that at some point there'll be something that you could do there if you want.
They're really going hard on this real-world social metaphor stuff.
Yeah, it's
like sit down with other Call of Duty players and watch a video as opposed to just like opening it in your web browser.
Yeah.
Or hang out in this VIP area. Like this is more social than the Destiny Tower in some respects.
Yeah, and it does have voice chat, so occasionally you hear someone just going like, "Can you command me? Can you command me? I'm trying to get the commendation order done. I'll commend you. You commend me." Which is always fun. There's a shooting range over here, so you can kind of test out your loadouts. And then, you know, at any point you just hit options and then you can just get into the actual game.
Wait, really? This is how you matchmake?
Yeah, it's still the same menus, like for all of the work they've done on that other stuff.
Like this space seems kind of cool, but like I don't know why they wouldn't just give you this menu outside of the space.
Well, weirdly enough, there's a guy downstairs that is marked zombies, and if you go up to him, it just says, "Do you want to switch to zombies?" And so, but you could also just hit it here. So like they did include some of that, but not all of it. Yeah.
Maybe they thought nobody would ever check out headquarters if they didn't make you get in here before you could get to the playlists.
Totally. Yeah, I think that is exactly why. But yeah, from here you kind of build your loadouts. And well, let's play a match and then we can go over some of the loadout stuff. I don't think I like the way they handle the create a class in this game very much.
I wish I knew anything at all about the way these games handle create a class. I haven't played multiplayer
in the past. They've had a system that they call Pick 10, where you kind of get 10 points to spend building your loadout, and it gives you control over like, well, I'm not going to take a secondary weapon because that saves a point that lets me then put an extra attachment on my primary weapon, or I'm not going to take grenades because then I can do this, and it felt very flexible. They had been doing that for a good long time, and it worked well. They would make a change to it every year, slightly. This moves away from that in favor of a system that lets you achieve a lot of the same things, but I feel less in control of my class than I.
That guy is distressed.
Yeah, than I have in past years. So that's why I say I don't think I like it very much.
Surrounding us.
Man,
we joined a mission in progress. So keep in mind the game's not out, so the number of people matchmaking is pretty low. So we'll find ourselves in games that are just getting started or games that are ending and sort of stuff. They've gone away from this. Used to be the last kill of the game, and now it's like, here's a person who got a double or triple kill in the match. So it's like a little closer to the play of the game type stuff, but maybe not all the way.
Check out YouTube Doom Clan.
People have already prestiged, like, you know.
That's so crazy.
You know, the game's been.
Do you know what level that is?
I don't. So I don't know if this is it loading the headquarters back in or something, because like we could quit out of this lobby and be right back in the headquarters.
Huh.
Oh, well, apparently we're going to end up there anyway. Normally it'll give you the option to get back into a match.
Yeah, this whole setup is.
Oh, and then it
just kind of
and
strange.
Then it dropped us back into this, which is where it was supposed to go, and that's awkward, but that's okay. That's strange.
Maybe like, you know, again, not
a little bumpy,
not officially launched yet. Maybe some weird server stuff going on.
Yeah.
Okay, like, biggest question, guns aside, like, you know, set aside that the firing characteristics of a lot of the guns are different than like a future game.
Right.
Are you really missing anything here from as futuristic as they've gotten in the last couple games? Like, is it still basically...
Instead of UAVs, recon planes circle overhead, and that means they're bigger, and then they look like very slow-moving, goofy planes that just are slowly moving around the battlefield for a little bit.
That's kind of what I mean. Like, set aside the setting differences. Like, is it basically still the same game?
They have mapped much of what you know as Call of Duty into the World War II, or of current Call of Duty.
Yeah. Obviously, like setting. Obviously, I'm guessing like air dashes and wall runs are out.
Right. Yeah.
But the basics of Call of Duty all still here.
Right. Like I leveled up my weapon to unlock this scope, and because I'm in the infantry division, which is one of the new kind of created class things, I have this bayonet charge.
Take position.
So if I do a running stab, she'll run and yell.
We have the lead. Need suppressing fire. They're at the center elevator. I'm drawing fire. Movement by the AA gun.
Around here, the maps. This game has a couple of really good maps in it, and it also has a map. Maybe I'll just go start a match on the map and show it. It might have my least favorite map of all time in it. And I have not played a bunch of hours on it yet, but so, you know, I don't, that's maybe somewhat hyperbolic, but
I'm super curious because I don't find myself generally having very strong feelings about maps. Like I really
it's a very wide open map.
Okay.
And in a way that, like, a lot of these weapons and sights and stuff are not great at range. You know, because it's a lot of iron sights and stuff like that, and having a map that is very long range that then favors snipers in a way that the game really hasn't leaned into in a very long time feels bad. It's a lot of cases of just like, I got shot out of nowhere, and also I don't know how we're going to take this hill.
Enemy recon aircraft observed.
Oh, let me see if we can... Oh, gosh. That guy. Worse than I am. So here you have this slow-moving, comically moving plane.
Hey, it's Doom Clan.
That's the UAV, basically.
Wow, that looks really bad.
Yeah, it's terrible.
I figured you were exaggerating.
No, it is like hilarious.
That's bizarre.
How bad that looks.
But also kind of amazing.
Well, it needs to move slow enough for you to shoot it down,
shoot
right?
Down, yeah. Because everybody knows you can shoot down UAV.
Exactly. But not
it's a ghost plane.
Yeah, it's ghost plane. Ghost plane's gone. Disappeared into the smoke and mist. Let's see here. What else? What else should we talk about? Nope.
Enemy recon aircraft observed.
Oop, there's a person there.
This certainly appears to be Call of Duty.
Yeah, totally. They made that game. You know, the changes they've made are things that I really care about in terms of just like, hey, the created class is different in a way that I don't think I like.
Counterintelligence aircraft.
You know, obviously it's new maps, and they've got a new mode called, War in it that is a little more objective based across, like multiple different objectives as you push and pull across a map, like attack and defend style, like Unreal Tournament or something. And that's kind of where it seems like some of their focus has been. Shot that guy in the foot, though. I'll try to get into a war match. I'm not sure that we will find enough players to get in just yet, but that's as it was in the beta, basically.
Oh, that was in the beta?
Yeah.
Okay.
You know, you running up and hammering a bridge.
Oh, yes.
Oh, shit. Hey. I've not found my footing in this game yet. I've had a couple of matches where I've gone, you know, like 14-7 or, you know, like decent showings, but by and large, I've been kind of sucking shit. But like the weapons don't feel like a problem. Like that was my big worry going in. They feel like more of a problem in the campaign, honestly. Where it's a lot of like, here's a lot of semi-automatic weapons with iron sights. And for whatever reason, it takes like 5 shots to the chest to take a Nazi down with some of these weapons, which feels like very bullet spongy in a frustrating way.
Strafing run inbound.
Oh, about to go on a streak.
Yeah. So I have the requisite, I forget what it's called, but I have it set up so where I don't lose my streak points when I die. So I could still get one more kill and call in a UAV or
What's
plane
the?
or whatever.
Is there a trade-off there? Or is that just part of the creative class?
That's
stuff?
part of the creative class.
Okay.
We'll get into that in a sec.
Good job today. Some chow, some rest.
Flak tower.
Yeah.
Okay. It's a real goofy-looking gun.
Yeah, so you're still unlocking camo and stuff for the guns and doing that shit. All right. But yeah, the general feel of it is still, you know, Call of Duty.
Just a little bit less outlandish than it was last year.
Yeah, or you know, maybe more so in the ways that, you know, when you have something that has been well established historically that you were then turning into a video game.
Well, yeah,
like some of that stuff kind of.
But I mean, in gameplay terms, like again, like I said, no
Exactly,
wall
yes.
runs,
Yeah,
no,
yeah.
no jumping around and
Totally.
using jump jets.
Very standard. Honestly, if I wanted to play a game that was going back to basics on Call of Duty, I would still be playing Modern Warfare Remastered because I think that hits the sweet spot a lot better. And I think those maps are better than this one has in a lot of cases. So, all right, we had,
No remaster of any kind this year.
no. They
wondering if
did
that
not
would-
follow it up.
Wonder if that would be an ongoing thing.
Yeah.
But that thing, Modern Warfare Remastered, did not look super cheap to make. Like they did,
Right.
they did a lot of work
Yeah,
there.
they did.
Like that thing looked good.
And they added in all of their microtransaction loot crate stuff to that as well.
Yeah.
Over time. So, okay. So the creative class. You first select a division, and these are the divisions. This kind of gives you a set of division perks that you then level up. So I've leveled up infantry to level 2. You start at level 1, so that means if I'm playing in the airborne division, I can take a silencer on submachine guns. It doesn't mean I have to pick a submachine gun, but if I don't pick a submachine gun, then I might as well be playing a different class.
Okay.
So armored, they'll get the LMG bipod, so you can kind of deploy that for better stability. Mountain's your sniper. Someone commended me while I was standing there. I'm one step closer to completing that challenge. So as you level these up, you'll get level 4 snipers, level 4 mountain gets silent movement, stuff like that. Shotgun incendiary shells come by default with the expeditionary force, so that's going to be, you're going to take a shotgun at that point because you want to shoot fire at people.
Right.
Infantry gets, rifle, but like these seem pretty good from where I sit in terms of how I tend to play these games. Extra magazines, additional primary attachment. That's usually, extra primary attachment is usually what I'm looking for when I'm building classes in other Call of Duty games. So that's probably the best fit for me, though better sprinting and movement is pretty good too. These ones, not really my thing. Maybe I will take an LMG class from time to time. So, but those benefits for armor don't seem awesome.
So those are all fixed. You pick a division and then
You pick a division, and that's the core of your class
Okay.
is the division, and then
Got it.
you get then
from there you start.
from here I get my SMG suppressor, and that's I can't take that off or whatever. That's
Got it.
I'm airborne division. That's that. So we'll go to infantry here. You see it's got the 3rd primary because I've unlocked that. You level up the weapons, you level up your division. That stuff all prestiges too. So you get kind of additional unlocks and benefits as you kind of fill the bar for infantry and then reset it again. You'll get stuff out of that. From there, you pick a primary and a secondary and stuff like that. There are let's say basic training here is kind of the other modifier for your class. And so this is what I was taking that made it so my score streaks didn't reset on death. But you can also pick launched, and then you can take a rocket launcher instead of a pistol as your secondary. which would be good for shooting down those planes. You know, make stuff appear on the map, and then annoyingly, they don't tell you anything about the stuff you haven't unlocked yet, which is frustrating. It would be nice to know kind of what you're working towards with that stuff, and that's the same goes for the guns. Like unlocked guns, you see the stats down there. You know, damage 6, range 5, all that sort of stuff. So you don't get any information about these weapons. You have to go look it up out of game to go like, oh, well, you get this sentence here for a gun that is available for you to unlock. So you at least go like, oh, high damage. Okay, so you get kind of that baseline thing, but it's very bizarre to me that they don't just show the baseline stats for things you have not unlocked yet. That's not very friendly. Pick a weapon, then as you use the weapon, you will unlock attachments for said weapon. So at weapon level 11, we get advanced rifling, and you know, all this stuff is stuff that has been in previous games generally. You know, an attachment that lets you do extra damage against streaks and extra penetration. That's been there, I want to say, since like Call of Duty 4. Or the Deep Impact was in Call of Duty 4. You didn't shoot streaks in 4, I guess, but high caliber for better headshot damage. You would think 1 would be enough if you get them in the head, but hey.
Some people got real hard hits.
Yeah, and you know, additional stuff like, hey, aim down the sight faster, better, you know, less recoil. Like the sort of stuff that has always been in these games is still found here. Yeah. Even if it looks a little different, you know, kind of different pistols and different pistol attachments. But as I do not use the pistol very much, I have not even hit level 2 on the pistol. Different tacticals and lethals. I wonder if signal flare will be like a tactical insertion that'll let you choose where you spawn. I'm not actually, tactical area effective. I'm not sure what all this stuff is because I haven't unlocked it yet. But you know, grenades, additional types of grenades, that sort of stuff that unlocks just as you level up generally. And so that's kind of it. You know, like all the bits and pieces are here, but it feels like I can't quite put them together the way I want. Having looked up a lot of the different basic trainings to see what they do and see what I would be how I would likely want to build my types of classes and that sort of stuff. Like you can get most of the way there, and maybe they've done that for balance reasons or whatever, but I feel less in control of my character
it seems a little less flexible than that flat points system.
Definitely. And they've done the pick 10 system for a while, so I understand, you know, like every year they want to make a change to it so it at least looks different. This feels worse.
Almost like a regression in a way.
Yeah. I've got 3 minutes and 44 seconds of 25% soldier XP. Great.
Unless, again, maybe they thought that was too flexible. Like maybe
if they thought it was too flexible, they sure did lean into it for a whole lot of years before coming to that conclusion. Yeah. So, you know, it is what it is.
They could have had balance reasons that we're not necessarily thinking about.
But I will say I like it less. So let's see here. Let's try. So the modes list is pretty standard stuff. Like this stuff has all been in the past games. Gridiron was the thing from, it's like a sports game. You know, you're kind of carrying a ball to a goal. They found a way to adapt that to World War II. War is kind of the thing that hasn't been, they've had a mode called War before, and I don't remember if it is exactly this or not, honestly, but we'll see if we can get into a match here. Like I said, with the game just hitting shelves in some parts of the world, it seems like everyone is just playing Team Deathmatch, which is...
No.
Stop me if you've heard this before. That is one of the most popular, if not the most, popular modes in a Call of Duty game. Okay.
I always thought, coming from like, you know, playing deathmatch games in the 90s when they were new, that Team Deathmatch became the default thing and not just straight up deathmatch.
Oh, I'm sorry, yes, Team Deathmatch is the thing.
No, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like back then, it was just you wanted to kill everybody you saw.
Exactly.
Like that's what weirds me out is that, like, I don't know why it is that the team variant is what actually became.
I think Call of Duty 4 did that.
I know, that's kind of actually around the time that it happened. I don't know what it was that made that so popular over, you know.
It was the first item on the menu.
What if you could shoot it?
You just kept hitting X or A or whatever until you got in.
Maybe that's what it is. Well, it also gives the match a little bit of a momentum outside of just what you're doing.
Exactly, yeah.
Like you have a team to count on or to potentially help swing the match.
Okay, so this is the map that is in the beta. Unfortunately, there are two others. But they built the bridge, so we have to. Our team then has to fall back. Also, there are only 3 people on my team.
Airdrop incoming! Bring forward the flamethrower.
Like how the box just shatters.
Protect the ammunition supply.
Oh, I thought that they were coming from the other way. I got all turned around.
It's a good war.
That is my favorite part of the entire game, is the yelling on the bayonet charges.
Flush them out.
This is not a good range for a flamethrower fight, honestly.
So these matches are more or less the same every time, right? Same sequence of objectives.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah.
Like it basically is that UT assault mode.
Yes. Yeah. So they're trying to push in, and then they so they try to plant a bomb there, and then we push and pull over this point. If they can't do it, they eventually lose. We change side. Like all that sort of stuff. Okay, this guy's right there.
Reinforcements are coming
still
to
right
protect
there.
the ammo supply. The bomb must be disarmed.
How long do these matches usually take?
They're a little bit longer than the average Call of Duty match, but
This seems like this is like a fairly common thing these days. Like Battlefront 2 has this same thing.
Right.
This multi-stage, like tiered objective.
yeah, it seems like that just,
type.
and Battlefield was built on
Right.
a lot of this stuff, right? I mean, even if it was like, hey, there's just a crate at every stop, and it's either defend or attack the crate.
It at least moves the action from
Right.
section to section.
Yeah.
Destroyed one of our flak guns.
Yeah, I am
Their tank is advancing.
like
Kill the
objective-based
soldiers
modes are fine, but it's usually not why I come to Call of Duty.
The enemy tank is advancing.
I mean, I'm glad for the variety.
Yeah, yeah. If nothing else, like they've got the variety, but I don't know that I was like needing like a longer mode. So this becomes like a payload thing where the tank moves forward as they stand near it,
Their tank
and
is
it will roll
advancing.
back if we kill them all.
Keep them from
Straight
destroying.
Overwatch.
Yeah. And it moves as such.
The tank is on the move.
Maybe he's not
Their
the gun
tank is
for this.
advancing.
Yeah, see now it's rolling back.
The enemy tank is advancing.
Oh,
Kill the soldiers around that tank. The tank is on the
Okay, Nazi announcer, I'll kill the soldiers around that tank. It's like standing there.
move. Their tank is advancing. We failed. The enemy destroyed our flak guns. Now their aircraft will bomb our forces.
not sure how I feel about this German accent.
Yeah. Okay, I was wondering if they were going to show it there. The planes bombing the forces. So like at least have some kind of payoff there. So I don't know if this is going to flip sides. No, that was already the second one. So you get a sense of what that war
Oh, yeah,
is.
totally.
It's that stuff kind of strung together a little bit.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know why it's like taking forever to even get back to the lobby here. But again, maybe that's stuff that'll be a little bit better when the game is out in more places than just Australia. So who knows what quality or speed of servers we're even connecting to here.
Yeah.
Or server, I want to say they're still peer-to-peer. So maybe we're connecting to Australians. I'm gonna blame that on why I got shot so much there. So that's the competitive multiplayer. It's very similar to how it's been in the past, but I think I don't like it very much. Actually, you know what? I'll load in and show you that map real quick.
Oh yeah, right.
Give me some esports modes.
I always, every year, I wonder, like academically, like I'm not that big on Call of Duty, but just I'm curious, as an industry watcher or whatever, how people take to it year to year.
Right.
So,
yeah.
curious to see
And
what people make of this.
And I have had a fantastic time with Call of Duty over the years, you know, and so I feel like I always enter this process hopeful for each year's Call of Duty.
And last year was a big down year in terms of the audience's reception, right?
Yeah. I feel like it's been on kind of a downward trend here for a bit.
What was it? Black Ops 3.
Yeah.
The year before. So Infinite Warfare last year.
Yes.
Black Ops 3 before that.
Right. Advanced Warfare before that, which I really liked, but
Yeah,
like
that was-
that a lot of people didn't like the movement in that game very much, and so the reaction to it, is it loading up War? I thought I could have sworn I changed it off of War. If it is loading up the same map, then we're not just going to see this map. Anyway, it's a big railway gun in the center of the map that you can stand on, and God damn it. What I must have messed
Our
something
mission
up.
is to destroy a battery of AA guns that's shooting down our bombers. But we have to push through enemy territory and take out those guns before Kraut reinforcements arrive.
I thought I changed it. Anyway, let's move on. It's a big kind of raised point in the center of the map. There's a lot of open space with no cover or terrain features or brush or anything. So you're just like running around a big open area, getting shot at a bunch, and it's not. It just feels very out of place. But there's another map that is set on a boat that is very much like the Call of Duty 4 boat map, and I really like that one. Though it also has the side effect of making me want to play Call of Duty 4 instead. Okay. That's competitive multiplayer. You can play River Raid.
Wait.
Right? Does this person have anything to say?
Oh.
Realized their mic was on. Good.
It sounded like they were about to start eating some chips or something.
Yeah. Could have really gone for some chips right about now. Let's get out of here and go look at the campaign.
Okay. This is probably the thing that I am curious about the most in this package.
Yeah. I have finished the campaign.
Yeah. What do you think?
I don't think it's very good. They've made some gameplay changes that a lot like the creative class stuff are just kind of a toss-up of like, oh, well, that's different.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know that it's necessarily better or worse, but it is a change. Game starts at Normandy.
Okay.
Almost like a Star Wars game needs to start at Hoth, I guess. Like, we can't get away from storming the beach.
Yeah, I don't
That's
know.
apparently what video games need to do.
Yeah, I'm of two minds on it because on the one hand, yes, it's fairly trite at this point. On the other hand, it's been a while since a game did D-Day, right? What was the last one?
Yeah, I guess.
Like,
I mean, it's
yeah,
been
PS2 era.
It's been a while since we've really done World War II, right? I mean, that's why.
Right. Like, so in that sense, I almost think of the Normandy landing as sort of a benchmark that you can check back in on periodically. It's like, all right, what can modern consoles and modern engines now make that look like?
The roadways.
You know what I mean?
It looks a little better. You're not on the beach for very long. It's,
Yeah.
you know, like it's not a particularly interesting gameplay sequence.
I'm sure it is what it is, but you know, just in a kind of how far we've come sort of sense, you know.
Yeah.
What was that? Allied Assault?
Yeah.
What was the big Normandy beach game?
I think it was Allied Assault.
Yeah.
Not good enough for
So you mostly play as this guy Daniels, and you've got
maybe I'll get home by Christmas with a couple medals on my chest.
your crew, and it's very much a kind of generic, like Texas farm boy, pictures of his girl, Dear John letter. Here we are talking shit to each other, and you know, but things get serious later. Like that is the story they're telling. Like it's.
1938, Lewis Robinson wins hands down.
I think it's really crazy how plain this story is. Like for them to want to return to World War II and feel like, the time is right. I would have thought they would have had a little more to say, but this feels like they like
Not
dusted
bad.
off the Band of Brothers DVDs that everyone was using to make their campaigns back then,
Yeah.
and just made another one of those.
Yeah.
And it's really, they have moments that don't hit, that you look at them and go like, I guess maybe this is supposed to be a more emotional moment than it is, but it just doesn't, the stuff doesn't play well. It's hard to feel connected to the characters. They do some gameplay stuff to try to make you feel connected to the characters that I don't think works as intended. And so by the end of the game, like they get to their like emotional, like we're brothers moment, and you're like, okay, yeah, I've seen this story before.
Yeah.
I feel
Sounds like it works for what it is. It's just what it is. It's kind of.
it's very dull. You know, it's extremely plain, and it's a beautiful game.
Yeah.
You know, like it looks very expensive, and so to have it be this incredibly polished up, good-looking game. You know, look at it's a great looking lighting and skybox and these planes, and it's very big, and it's really boring. It's really, really boring.
Yeah, we saw that gameplay demo back at E3 that I thought like pretty much lines up exactly with what you're saying. Like it looks very, very nice. Also, like something I had definitely seen before.
Yeah, every step of the way with this, I was like, yep, I've done this.
It don't mean shit to me.
They break from, you know, like every Call of Duty campaign has its moments where it's like, oh, we're in a vehicle for a bit, or we're doing this. There's a good, you hook up the French resistance at a point, and there's a mission in the middle of the game that is a little different. They've cooked up a like stealth mechanics for parts of the game as well. So where appropriate, it'll be like, you know, you'll come up from behind and do stealth kills, and they have meters over their heads that will fill if they're detecting you or not. That stuff is fine for what it is. It's a good thing they didn't base the entire game around it. You know.
Let's go!
And so the biggest gameplay changes end up being that you don't have recharging health anymore.
Looks like you're holding up all right.
Yeah, how about yourself?
I couldn't let you guys have all the fun.
That seems big this year.
Fun's not
Yeah, I
allowed
guess.
under Pearson.
Over the last couple of years.
It ends up making you have to, so you have to play a little more carefully, and but only a little bit, because you don't have to collect health kits, you store them on yourself. So you push right on the D-pad to pop a health kit. And there's a mechanic in the game that is, I feel like that it's the thing that's designed to get you to stay a little close to your squad and maybe get to know them or something. Where like this guy, not this guy talking to us, but the guy down in front of him will occasionally throw you a
We're
health
doing
pack.
the scrubbing.
So it's like named characters providing you this stuff?
Yes.
You don't just like look for the closest generic medic?
Right, it's always that guy. That guy's the health kit guy. There's another guy that's the ammo guy. There's another guy that's the mortar grenade guy.
Yeah.
There's another guy that's the highlight all enemies on map for 20 seconds guy. And so certain missions you won't be with those guys. So suddenly it's like, oh well, I can't just automatically generate a health kit every 10 kills or whatever. So that means I need to go scour for them.
Daniels is right.
And
They're not all bad.
They did give us Kepler, Mozart. All right.
here they are singing the praises of the enemy. That's, you know,
Don't forget about their inventions.
say what you
We
will.
got the printing press, electron microscope.
And
Frankfurters.
you guys are killing me.
so
Hear that?
It's headed this way. Stukas, inbound.
yeah, you have to. Well, it'll become evident once gameplay starts what I'm talking about, because there are meters that fill up, and when the meter is full, you can call on that person for the thing they give you.
Yeah.
And that meter fills up as you get kills. It doesn't fill up over time, so you don't run into situations where you can like just hang out until you can generate another med kit. That said, playing on the default difficulty, I was never out of med kits. It was never a
Gonna
problem.
capture one of their AA guns to bring down those Stukas.
MG's in the barn!
Shit! Everyone down! We gotta hit those MGs! I need teams to flank them left and right! Go, go, go!
There it is.
Yeah.
That's what I've been waiting for.
Yeah.
This entire video, that's all I was
There
here
it
for.
is. The quick look over. It's got the ping.
I needed to hear the plink.
That thing is in the level up noise. Like they have embedded it deep
Okay.
into this game.
Yeah, they know. Iconic.
Yeah. Hey, have I hit nothing? or the hit markers not showing up for some reason.
That thing?
There
Red?
it is. Okay.
Okay. What is it? Red on a kill?
Yeah, it's red on a kill, so you know when to stop shooting. You know, because some of these guns take up a lot of real estate when you're aimed down sights,
Yeah.
so you kind of have to consider that.
And it does look good.
Yeah.
I'll give him that.
And so this kind of becomes, you know, a much slower push than you might be used to in other Call of Duty games because, you know, like we have to worry about our health a bit more.
Yeah.
So, you know, it's worth it to stay out of the way because you can't always just run back and hide. And also, like, the enemies are kind of bullet spongy in some cases. With certain weapons, like, certain weapons feel very low powered, like I said. You know, there are cases where you're shooting guys 5 times in the chest and they're still recovering and taking shots at you.
Yeah.
So, you know, you just learn to focus on headshots. So, yeah, see my health getting a little low there. Push right on the D-pad. We're okay.
Wow, that was fast.
Yeah.
Kind of expected it to be a few seconds.
No, and then
to make it more of like a tactical consideration.
Another health kit that was right there that I picked up. So my health kit guy went right, so he flanked right while I flanked left. So I went with the ammo dude. So I can push up on the D-pad while he's full. Normally there's a little more speech when they do that.
Boss.
Normally you'll call out and go, I need the ammo, and he'll go, here you go. I don't know why it was completely silent that time.
So what's your, like, if you spin the camera to the right, what's your, like, quick cue of who's who? You just have to kind of remember which guy looks like what?
Well, you see the icons ghosted there on the edge of my view here. Like, ideally, you're closer to the TV and you're seeing, like, oh, that's the health kit guy. So, like, my health kit guy is full up. You see on the lower right, we can see that he's full.
Yeah,
and that's him over there.
Which one?
Right there. Through that wall. Because he flanked. He went.
There.
Yeah, that circle.
I see.
He went a different way, so he's not with me right here.
Okay.
So I kind of am cut off from health kits for a period of
Interesting.
time
And does that seem random? Like as you would reload checkpoints,
No,
would they behave differently?
No,
or?
no, he goes that way.
He always goes that way.
Okay. So I could go that way and be with the health kit guy, but then I wouldn't be with my ammo guy. So that's the decision you make here, even if you don't realize you're making it. And so this is pretty early in the game, so it's kind of the first time you realize, like, oh, like if I want a health kit, I need to get it from that guy. So it's a lot of cases of like you kind of slowly working your way into these areas and clearing them out. This upstairs has a lot of guys up there. But we're starting to move in, so now I can go like, hey, health kit guy. Again, I don't know why all the speech has stopped. This normally is a somewhat louder game, and I'm starting to wonder if it is bugged out or broken.
They usually like holler something at you as
here's your health kit! You know, like that sort of stuff. Or, hey, they're upstairs! Like there's...
Grenade!
There we go. Finally said something.
Is this default difficulty?
Yeah. No ammo for that gun. So yeah, I have no ammo for that gun, and also the meter's not full, so I can't call the guy for more ammo.
Yeah.
Clear! Mark secure! Push into the field! We need to rally with our tanks! Spread out!
So we don't have an MG up here. Okay. But I can just...
Move! Push them back!
A lot of these conflicts end up being cases of you shoot them until they start retreating, and then you see them kind of turn tail and get out, and then you'll see your squad kind of move up. So they do kind of signal like, hey, this sequence, you have beaten this sequence, move up. Because you know, ultimately the effect that having these guys be there for resources means you want to stick slightly closer to them than you would in other Call of Duty games. So, like, that's kind of the knock-on effect of this stuff, is it theoretically gets you to stay closer to your squad, which, you know, if the dialogue was more interesting and that sort of stuff, you know, would maybe kind of be better at kind of building.
It sounds like an interesting trick, or like maybe an effective way to like build some character into the mechanics.
Yeah,
in theory.
Right, but it doesn't really pay off.
Oh, they surrender?
Yeah, you'll have some heroic moments or heroic actions, and these are either guys that surrender. You need to aim at them until they go like that. You can shoot them if you want.
Are those also scripted, or do they just happen?
They just happen. So there are. You see, it says heroic actions 2 out of 3 performed. Some of them may be scripted. They might all be scripted. Actually, I don't know for sure. But the other thing that happens is you'll have an ally go down. Not one of your named guys, but just like generic soldier number 3 there'll be an icon over him, and you have to pick him up and drag him to a cover position. And so it's this weird thing where like you're dragging and you can't really look behind you to see where you're dragging him, and so you get stuck on the environment, and you know, you're not sure where you're. It's basically like, hey, exchange a heroic action for, you know, a third of your health because you're getting shot the whole time you're doing it. And completing heroic actions fills the meters on your allies' abilities. So, you know, hey, you want some health, you can, or some ammo, you can do the heroic action and get some. That's the basic flow of it, you know. The campaign is set over a number of months. Like, it starts at Normandy and pushes through for months and months and months. You go through the Battle of the Bulge and that sort of stuff.
Always from the American perspective? Aside from, like you mentioned,
it does not show the enemy perspective ever.
No, I mean,
you're
never playing as British or Russian.
There's a French intelligence mission where you get a chunk of a brief period of time playing as a French spy. But that's kind of a one-off thing. The rest of it is like, you know, you play as a different character when you're in the tank, but he is still an American soldier.
Right.
Get on that flak gun and take out those Stukas! Those bombers are killing our armor! You gotta take them down! Here they come! 2 o'clock!
He's going down!
It's a Call of Duty game where you do Call of Duty stuff. And
very straightforward.
Very straightforward. Yeah. When I look back to Infinite Warfare, which, you know, people maligned the multiplayer in that game quite a bit. I was not much of a fan myself, but it was also maybe the most inventive campaign they've done. Since Black Ops 2.
I am still meaning to play that campaign at some point.
It has side missions and
people talk, you know, so strongly about it.
Like meaningful. Also, I think for a game that was about robots and space shit, I think it told a more effective human story. About the horrors of war and loss than this thing, which this whole thing turns on that axis. And I think like that game was more effective at that even. So I think like this campaign it's okay. I think it's just super boring. It's really plain, and for them making such a big deal about wanting to return to World War II and how the time is right, like that's not reflected in the quality of the campaign at all. This feels like that they didn't have anything to actually say that required it to be World War II. Instead, it was just like, well, we feel like we've gone too far future, and the mechanics in our multiplayer are you know, receiving negative reactions. So here's a way for us to kind of strip it all out. Right? It feels very much like a decision based on the multiplayer game. This is. It's boring, and I think the moments they try to craft to try to make you care about the characters, I don't think they work very well at all.
That's a shame. They said some stuff pre-release. It's been months now. They talked to a certain game about their influences and some of the stuff they were doing with it.
It doesn't
made me curious about it.
Take a fire team through the orchard.
Also, no big celebrity, right?
Josh, this guy.
Oh, who?
Josh.
Wait, is that Josh Duhamel? Oh, it's Josh Duhamel.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it totally is.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have even noticed that. Who'd they have last year?
I don't know.
They had, I think there was somebody in Infinite Warfare, right?
Yeah, I'm sure there was somebody in there. I totally don't remember.
What the hell's that? German artillery. Tank killers. Didn't you read the brief?
Was it No, I was about to say Maloney, but he was Black Ops.
No,
3.
he was the Black Ops 3.
Okay. I know they had somebody last year.
Yes, they almost certainly did. I think the lead character you played as was some actor, but I fully don't remember.
Damn it. Wish I would have gotten to that flak gun sooner.
Yeah, I mean, you know, it's a good-looking game.
Yeah.
Up close, you'll see some textures and stuff like that. Like there's some first-person, quick-time event type stuff of stabbings and such. That
We're fighting Nazis here.
Over
that
here. We've got a vantage point.
don't look great.
Yeah.
You know, so especially, I mean,
Get out your
they're going for different things. But when you think about the up-close brutality of a game like Wolfenstein,
I was just about to say.
they show that like this game looks bad by comparison.
I was just about to say, like, this is not this game's fault at all, but me in particular being most of the way through Wolfenstein right now.
Yeah.
And watching this, like, man, what a tonal shift.
This feels
in
like a
terms
remaster of some PS2 game,
Right,
in a lot of cases.
yeah.
Like the quality of the campaign is such that it's like if you told me this was, in some alternate universe, this is just a Call of Duty 2 remaster or something, I'd be like, I guess, yeah, I don't know. Like it's just like generic World War II campaign number 7.
But yeah, just what a contrast. Like,
Yeah,
especially when dealing with Nazis who are like traditionally like the most stereotypically cartoonish bad guys out
Right.
there, but also now disgustingly relevant.
yes,
Again,
yeah. This
like,
game,
like Wolfenstein, takes a real crazy tack on that.
yeah, this takes a very video gamey standard,
that's
just bone stock.
That's exactly what I mean. Like this is just kind of
They make exactly one attempt to put a face on an enemy for about 20 seconds, and then you see a first-person sequence of like that character getting stabbed or whatever, and it doesn't look great, and you're like, this, like for as good as the rest of this game can look, there's some of the up-close stuff is still very clumsy. Like a lot of the cutscene or a lot of the in-mission dialogue, you will still have characters looking where they think you should be standing, as opposed to looking at your character. Like stack up on this door, and like they're looking off. Like the cutscene's playing out at a bad angle because you're not standing where the game thinks you should be standing. It's like, which I feel like that was fixed in other games. So it's not great. Oops.
Target that MG-42 nest, right side!
Again, I don't mean this to sound harsh, but watching you play this just makes me want to go finish Wolfenstein.
Very different games, but I think this campaign makes me want to. This campaign is disappointing. I'm pretty disappointed with it, and that doesn't. It's not about Wolfenstein.
Yeah.
It's about previous Call of Duty campaigns and what they have done in the past.
Yeah.
And also them kind of talking up a big game about like, oh, we're returning to World War II. Shot the wrong guy. Oh well. That would have been a heroic moment had I shot the bad guy. War is hell.
Yeah.
Look at him run! That's right, Fritz! We're coming for you! Keep moving! Keep pushing forward!
Yeah, this feels like a throwback at best.
Yeah, that just sounds very dated to me.
Definitely.
In mechanical and thematic terms.
Yeah, and that's me judging it just purely off of like what Call of Duty has done in the past 3 or 4 years.
Right.
It just doesn't. It doesn't have anything really going for it other than the visuals, and if you. I'm trying to think of like who would be likely to get a lot out of it, because I think it's retelling parts of the war that are very well worn in a lot of different fiction.
Yeah.
And I don't think it really brings anything new to it. It's just a story of your Texas farm boy.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's
just wants to get home to his lady.
Right. Like I think for me, like we're living in an era of rising nationalism.
Yeah.
And
sure.
like for them to just present this as kind of like another entry in like national myth, like another kind of romp or adventure in American history, as opposed to like maybe a little more of a cautionary tale.
Yeah, I mean, there are certainly opportunities to tell more interesting stories set in World War II.
Right.
Whether you tap into that or not.
Right.
You know, but this feels like the safest choice imaginable.
Yeah.
That just feels like they looked at old World War II games the last time those were in vogue and said, let's make one of those.
Yeah.
All right, here's Nazi Zombies. The co-op mode. I have not played any of this. Ving Rhames is in it.
Whoa. Okay. I'm cool with that. Did they do zombies last year?
They've been doing zombies for a bit now.
I thought that
I thought
they occasionally would take a year off, depending on developer.
I believe this game now marks the first full cycle where zombies has been the thing in all three.
Okay.
Because Infinite Warfare had the 80s themed stuff with like Hasselhoff or something, right?
Right, yeah.
And then the year before that was...
We've had quite a ride.
Future Zombie?
I forget.
The Fuhrer's own stash. Perhaps your finest hour, Captain Jefferson.
Anytime I'm taking Nazis.
This is all in context? Like this is set during the war?
Besides, these bastards had a Vermeer hanging next
I have no idea.
Sure, they're both Dutch. The wrong damn century.
Olivia, your field work at Neuschwanstein led us to over 6,000 pieces stolen from private collectors in France.
The Nazis have taken so much from us all. This art belongs to the people.
And who can forget the Merker's salt mine?
Yeah, I know what I did, but hold your applause. I'd rather try knobbing a rolling donut before I bust my arse with your pennies again. It's not worth it, mate.
Duly noted. Which brings us to Middleburg and the current operation. Dr. Fisher?
10 days ago, we received a dossier. Material smuggled out by a young Austrian scientist who's reconsidering his loyalties. In it, he provides the location of a hidden bunker, where Dr. Straub and Colonel Richter have been collecting some peculiar pieces. Whatever they found, it's being used to power some kind of experiment.
You have no idea what you're dealing with, do you?
Your mission is to seize that relic. Everything else is on a need-to-know basis.
Is it just me, or does it seem that we're a wee bit late to the party? I didn't sign up for this shite.
Is this like a per mission setup? You get one of these for every map?
There is only one map.
I have mine. To find and rescue the scientist.
Maybe that tells you how much zombies I've played over the years.
Yeah. They typically roll out with like one. It's a larger area than the traditional Call of Duty map. Usually, you're kind of like opening doors and moving your way through and that sort of stuff. But it is this scenario, and then over time they typically add more to it with DLC.
Huh? That's not a zombie.
Yeah, but Nazi rock monsters didn't like roll off the tongue quite as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have never liked the zombies modes they've done for these games. In theory, it's neat because it's stuff like, oh, which doors do you open? There's a lot of weird mystery in it, and like, how do I craft the thing that unlocks this weird secret? And players with word of mouth are kind of telling each other, okay, we need to do this to unlock this separate thing. It's weird secrets that I'm trying to like find a way to put it into context for you. Like maybe it's sort of like a larger version of the heroic quest stuff in Destiny, where like there's something else for you to do, and it's not always apparent. But if you do that thing, you will kind of branch and see different stuff, or go different places, or whatever. And so getting to the ending of the zombies thing requires you to eventually piece together all these fucking weird machines, and at some point it becomes like, oh, you need to find the refrigerator and then turn the key and then do this.
Has it always been that like intricate and bespoke? Or has it turned into that over time?
It's become more of that over time, but that's
Close my wounds.
The basis of it is kind of that.
Like that sounds like the type of thing that you eventually need to like go online and read about.
Yes, ultimately that's what it became. You go online and read about it. So this is the prologue, which I assume is going to kind of show us some stuff, like me killing a Nazi or zombie with a shovel.
That soldier, he should not be alive.
Pockets full of jolts. Man, that was involved.
Okay.
I don't know, the stuff you're describing almost makes me sad that they've never actually split this out into its own game like we speculated for years that they would.
Yeah,
just because it sounds like the ideas could use more room to breathe and like really develop into something unique.
Yeah, I think that would be probably better for the zombies games, and also if they did something that was more in line with the core game for their co-op mode, I would like that better as someone who doesn't like the zombies mode. But I suspect what happened is the series started, you know, maybe doing a little less well, and any plans they would have had to split it out kind of got eaten up by like, oh god, let's make sure we're putting all the best, most popular stuff in these games, and now you get zombies every year.
Yeah, the idea of 2 Call of Duty projects a year just sounds insane at this point.
At some point, you just stop calling this Call of Duty over. Once you get enough years in, it's just like,
definitely.
Here's our zombies game. But,
you know, it worked. I mean, it's not exactly the same kind of game, but it worked for Left 4 Dead. You know,
sure, yeah.
Just a very well-made game of multiplayer scenarios that are meant to be played over and over.
Right. Yeah, so this is right out of the previous games. Is like, okay, you'll find these kind of weapon lockers, and
The Nazis use this energy from the dead to unlock the arms cache. How efficient.
Yeah, this is a lot more involved than the last time I played a zombies mode.
Yeah, this is pretty much what these have been for a while.
Yeah.
And so, but it is still also this. Or, well, okay, maybe they have not gotten to that part in the tutorial. I thought I was going to be able to board up that window.
Yeah, that's what I remember of zombies.
Yeah, last time I played, and this is, again, my first time playing this mode, but yeah, last time I played zombies last year, it was still very much that.
Yeah. Killing guys, climbing through windows, and then barricading them.
Yeah. And then, you know, over time that became like, okay, you get currency for the kills and for boarding up the windows, and then that leads to you earning currency to buy more weapons kind of on the fly. And then also you use that currency to open up additional areas, so you're kind of advancing through this level.
Yeah, that's the part that I'm not super familiar with.
Yeah, so but then at some point it became like, oh, there's weird fizzes and sodas to buy and different power-ups and perks, so this becomes like, okay, buy armor. We bought a blitz. We need to earn enough jolts to open the exit, it says. So I'm not even sure where the exit is.
Is what you're playing here single player only, or could you?
The prologue is probably single player only, is my guess. But
until you get through this one.
But yeah, but is it meant to be played 4-player?
Yeah. I just meant this specific scenario.
Typically not actually fun to play alone at all, really.
Oh, it's a fast zombie.
Okay.
U.S. shovel.
That's right.
They
Only
seem
the
to
most
come in
American of
waves.
shovels.
More appear with every search.
Yeah, so, you know, it becomes like the push and pull of like, okay, when do I open up the new area? Because that means then there will be more places for the zombies to come in. But also, if we stay here too long, eventually, you know, we're gonna get to a point where there are just too many coming in.
The town is just up ahead.
Yeah, so, you know, you kind of make it out of that area, but we're still, you know, we're still in here. That's not like, hey, you escaped and you won. It's now we're kind of moving to the next spot in a lot of cases, or, you know, they've had no, maybe that one is just for the prologue is kind of a victory thing. But they've had maps where it's like, just kind of get on the bus and drive to or the bus rides in a loop and you get on it and get off at a different area and defend that one for a while because you're looking for parts for a machine and you get back on the bus and go to the next spot.
Okay. So there's some loose justification for what you're doing.
Yeah. Yes. There's a whole lore to this even that has pieced it all together into in a really crazy way. So yeah. And so same type deal, you're kind of getting loadouts and also kind of customizing which weapons appear in those cases. So if you want any case that's going to have a rifle in it to have a specific rifle with specific attachments, you eventually kind of unlock those attachments and do that. And that's how you kind of customize your stuff. I assume this is going to be like your loadout of perks and stuff like that. The different things you can do there. We probably won't hit level 5 here. But yeah, then they'll also give you boosts and consumables and stuff like that, and they'll sell you. You see the credits appear in the upper corner there too. So I assume, yeah, there are even zombie supply drops. So plenty of stuff to unlock here as well. Yeah. But yeah, it's just always felt out of step with what I'm looking for out of Call of Duty. Like there's room for a co-op mode. I think I go all the way back to Spec Ops.
Spec Ops was so good.
So good. Even the I want to say it was Modern Warfare 3 where they just did like a survival mode on the multiplayer maps. Like I played a fair amount of that, and that was just putting bots in the multiplayer maps. Whereas this stuff with its like loose quest kind of thing of piece this together, do this, do that. Like it's just I never much cared for it.
Yeah. They do cram a lot into these games though.
They do.
A lot of stuff here.
They do. But I gotta say, I need to spend a little bit more time with the multiplayer. It is still kind of just on the cusp of coming out. So some modes are, I have not tried every single mode and seen what they're charging for the, credits and stuff like that. But considering they've done crates and random stuff in previous years, I assume it'll be in line with that. This is not moving in the direction I wish it was moving in terms of just like gameplay, but also I think that this is some of their weakest storytelling in the last, like they have taken bold chances with the campaign in Call of Duty in the past. You go the branching stuff in Black Ops 2, the crazy mental shit in Black Ops 3.
All the way back to Call of Duty 4.
Right, yeah. The PMC stuff in Advanced Warfare, the bionics, the robot stuff was like that.
Multiple playable characters and killing them off mid-game and just all kinds of stuff,
Yeah,
over time.
They've built a playbook and then deviated from it in really interesting ways over the years, and I feel like this one just goes right back to that playbook. You certainly play as multiple characters, and obviously they're going to pull at your heartstrings where they feel appropriate. But yeah, I don't much care for it. I think the multiplayer stuff, the customization options feel strange. Like I'm like I said, I'm into the idea of going back to basics, but I don't much care for the maps that much, and it's just not doing it for me at all. And the last game that Sledgehammer made was my favorite Call of Duty game in some time. So I was hoping that they would find something with World War II to kind of find good ways to differentiate it, whether that was in the story of the campaign or find fun new stuff in the multiplayer. And I feel like they've kind of struck out at every turn.
That's a shame.
And yeah, I'm pretty bummed out. But that's Call of Duty World War II.
Hey, there's always next year.
There truly is always next year, Brad. God, that'd be a Treyarch year, so Black Ops 4? I wonder. I don't even know where this series goes from here.
Yeah.
What a weird. It's weird. Thanks, Brad.
Vietnam.
Yeah, sure.